I'm Antonia Clifford. I am the sound designer for The Wind in the Willows.
And I'm Heather Skousen. I'm the assistant sound designer.
The early process was no different from any other show. You read the script several times. At first, we were toying with the idea of having a composer, but we were also thinking that the sound effects and things would be playback. We met with Heather. She said that she really needed a props practicum. But we've never had any props practica, really. And so at that moment I thought, we just need to do all of the sound effects live. So that's when we pulled her in as an assistant sound designer. We don't always have a script that will support this kind of thing. The last time we did a show where it was almost 100% live sound effects was It's a Wonderful Life, but it was the radio show. We had all the props out on tables and we could watch them making all the sound effects and see what they did. So that was the last time we've done one to this extent.
This rehearsal process was different than most shows. They asked for most of the props right at the beginning. Actors and the director were expecting most of those props to become final props, which is not common. Oftentimes we give them rehearsal props. They can beat them as much as they want, and then we give them their final props and we're like, okay, now you have to treat these nicely.
We made what in sound we would call a collection list, which is a breakdown of all the individual building blocks of a sound effect, and we made a list of where we expected they might be. We just started at kind of one end and just kind of swept our way through it looking for things that could make a sound. We pulled a lot of things and brought them to rehearsals really quite early. It was probably the beginning of November.
Yeah.
We told the cast what our goal was and said, here are some ideas that we have, but you don't have to be restricted by the ideas we've already had. Some things we told them about and some things they came up with by themselves, and therefore they have kind of that ownership.
Like the train noise.
Yeah.
Because we were already initially talking to them, about this, and then we went to rehearsal and one of the actresses was already doing it.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, perfect.
Awesome. And she just, as the train goes along, so she's walking along in the train group doing that, and it's something she came up with entirely on her own. Very much a collaborative process with everybody, not just one person telling everybody what to do. One of the things I've been so thrilled about is the willingness of the actors to use their own voices to make sound effects. Yeah. So we have one, Neilani, every time we need something kind of weird or esoteric, she's like, I can do that, or I'll learn that. So she does a cricket and an owl and a dove and drips like drip, 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 all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and she's just so willing, but everybody kind of jumps in like that and
Bee
does
noises, bird noises,
bees, cars, you name it. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
One of my favorite sounds is a really fun one. It's the fire, and we've got a leather strap, pretty much just a belt for the cracking log, and then we have the lighting gel that they just crumple in their hand, and that makes the crackling of the fire.
My favorite, I think, is the barge horn. My son, he plays brass instruments, and he likes to collect them. And one of the things he recently collected is what he calls an alto Wagner tuba. And one day he popped a mouthpiece for a clarinet onto it and played this tone, and it was like, that's a barge horn! And I got it on film and I sent it to her, and she's like,